Hi guys, welcome to Hams Radio. I am Hams. Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome. My channel is all about finding a life after trauma. I will be showing the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to my own healing journey in hopes that it will help you in yours. If that sounds like something that would add positivity to your life, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button down below, hit the bell so you don't miss out when I'm putting out new videos. I do, of course, want to mention hamsradio.com. That is my blog, just another way to help me process things. If you're interested, go check it out. Today, I will just be talking a little bit about my trip that I just came back from. Well, came back from like 2 days ago, but the trip I spoke about in my last video, kind of talk about that. And at the end of the video, if you're interested in my plan moving forward from here, travel-wise, what's the plan? I will cover that at the end of the video. So yeah, the trip with strangers went wonderfully. I am alive. I am not kidnapped, so that's good. But couple of things a couple of places that we went to see that I just worth noting, I should say. Number one is the Golden Temple. From my understanding, this is the most holiest, if not the holiest, temple that Sikhism has. One of the guys that I met in the hostel is a Sikh, so he showed us the Golden Temple, which was beautiful. The pool of nectar is like the pool that the Golden Temple is surrounded by. I will throw up a photo of me in front of with the Golden Temple in the background, just so you have an idea. I was required to cover my head. We weren't allowed to wear shoes because it was a holy place, and that's just what is required. And out of respect, obviously, I did cover my head. The second place was it was a place of this great massacre. They were protesting, the Indians were protesting what was called a Rowlatt Act, which pretty much gave the police permission to arrest anybody for no reason. So they were protesting this when the British Army started firing into the crowd and ended up killing at least 379. But according to some sources, on the Indian side of the story, they're saying that the count is more closer to 1,000, if not more. And there was about 1,200 or more injured as well. And it has become a national monument now for India. I will have a photo up here to kind of show you what it looks like. Very beautiful, very just heavy. They left up multiple walls with a bunch of bullet holes in it. There was also a well that people were jumping in, trying to get away, and some ended up being suffocated at the bottom because of just the sheer amount of people that were jumping in, trying to get away from the bullets. So those two, I would say, was the most impactful for me on this trip. I did have a difficult day, and I wanted to spend most of my time talking about the difficult day. And I'm not 100% sure why. It could have just been because it was the rhythm was off. My rhythm throughout the day was off because I was no longer completely in charge of my schedule. I wanted to, they were showing us around, but they were also preparing, and I say they as in the two guys from the hostel that are from India. Varun is one, and the other one is Yowan. So those are the two from India that invited us to take this trip with them. I was also with Dexter. Dexter is from the hostel. He was with me the entire stay. Isan was, he ended up heading out there earlier, like a day earlier than me, because he had to be back on Monday. So so he was there just for the Golden Temple. So Tuesday was my difficult day. I felt that I was activated, triggered, like low key. It wasn't anything like ba-bam, like super in my consciousness, but it was definitely kind of like an undertone of just, there was some annoyance at times. And I recognized, like in the moment, I recognized, ooh, because there'll be kind of like a tightening in my chest when I'm triggered. And I kept feeling that. It kept being like, ugh. And I was like, oh, I'm triggered. Couple of things that will tend to trigger me quicker are like physical activity, especially when I feel like everyone is doing a lot better than me and I'm struggling and I'm trying to keep up because I don't want to fall behind. And then if people are talking to me while I'm in this state, very triggering. I don't know. When I'm struggling, doing physical activity, if someone is trying to engage with me, it's really, I don't like it. So was it Tuesday we did this? Yeah, I believe Tuesday we went to a second temple, and there was 700 stairs just to get up, and it was warm. So I was just a little irritated. Second thing that I have a lot of triggers around, food. If you've been watching my channel, you know I have triggers around food. Food is a really sensitive area, but I'm doing a lot better. But, so when we went to this temple, like they offer free food. So we went and we ate some food. I'd asked for a little bit because I know I wasn't super hungry. And then I was told that I had to finish it all. And I mean, I get that. Like, you don't want to waste food or anything. But as I stared at my plate with the amount of food left, and even if I was given I was given less than the normal serving, but as I was looking at it, I was like, oh my God, I cannot finish this. I tried to eat a few more bites. I tried to see if I could get it down, but my body was like, please don't. So like, I felt some shame around the fact that I could not finish my food. That is something, not being able to finish my food and having some shame-based feelings around that has been a thing for me, because I don't like wasting food. Like, usually I'd rather overeat than waste food, but I could not in that time, which is not a bad thing. I believe that's healthy that I was not able to force myself to keep eating when my body was telling me I was done. But still, like, I felt bad that I had to waste this food. So that kind of contributed to how I was feeling as well. And then we went shopping. I knew before we went shopping that I was in a state that I probably should not go shopping, but I did anyways. Because I wanted pants, I was looking for pants and I thought I could get them. So I thought, okay, this is gonna be super quick, but I mean, it was, but the way I was feeling by the end, I didn't want to talk to anybody. At the end, I was like, I am done. I don't want to try anything on. I want to go back to the hotel. I don't care. Like, take me back to the hotel. I want to go back. Like, and it took, like, I just felt super overwhelmed. And I just needed to leave. I hate shopping as it is. I just hate it. It's very, very triggering for me for some reason. I don't know why. I'm not 100% sure why. It could just be my anxiety in general, or maybe something happened with, I don't know, shopping or crowds or something like that. Something happened at Disneyland. I got lost for a few minutes, but I don't know if that would contribute to my being overwhelmed during shopping. I don't know. So after that, I was just fucking done. I ended up sleeping like 15 hours that night. I went to bed at like 6:30, woke up at like 9:30. It was beautiful. I loved it. But that day was a little hard, and I just needed to be by myself. When I got back to that room that night, tears came. I cried because I was just super overwhelmed. Let's see. And then after that, so the following day, we take a train back to New Delhi. So me and Dexter go back on a train, which was an amazing experience. It was very beautiful. I watched outside for a majority of the 7 hours we spent on the train. Beautiful. Like, India is beautiful, and I really do like it here. It's exciting, and there's a hustle and bustle, and like, I don't know, the vibe, I don't know, I just really like it here. I do want to mention, like, I get stared at like a lot. Like, even people I am with will notice how much I get stared at, and which, no offense at all, I think it's kind of funny. And last night, like, this tickled me. Last night, a group of like 5 or 6 would appear to be maybe high school-ish age, and they all wanted a photo with me. They took like a group photo with me, and then everyone wanted their own photo with me. So like, I felt like a celebrity for like 5 minutes, and it was I don't know, it was super, like, no one's wanted to take photos with me ever in my entire life. So it was just kind of like a really weird, like, situation for me to be in. But it was interesting. I enjoyed it. Let's see. Okay, I think that's it that I want to say about that. I really, really enjoyed this trip. All the guys that were on this trip with me really made it. They were like, I don't know, they just super hospitable. Like, they wanted to make, like, both Yowen and Varun, they brought us food that their moms had made, so we could have like homemade food. Like, how fantastic is that? It's very, very wonderful. They walked us into the hotels to make sure that we got a hotel, made sure we, like, brought us places if we needed to eat, took us sightseeing around their hometown. It was beautiful. Definitely a trip I'm going to remember. And these are guys that I'm definitely going to, like, remember and appreciate and keep in contact with. It's amazing. They're both, and on top of this, like, so they just took their exam to get into the Indian Army, and they passed. So they have like 2 weeks to get all the shit taken care of before they go training. So in the middle of these 2 weeks of needing to get their shit together so they can go to training, they're carting me and Dexter around and showing us places. Like, how amazing is that? Like, they were still taking time out of their day. And I'm sure, like, I know I would have been fucking anxious as fuck if I had 2 days to get all the shit together that they were saying they had to get together. So I just super appreciative and grateful for these two to take time out of their day, out of their very busy day, to show us around. Amazing. Yeah. I think that's it. Okay, so plans from here. Today, we being me and Isan. Isan had come up north with us as well, but had to leave early. So me and Isan, and then there is a guy from Germany and a guy from Argentina that we are all going to go to Rishikesh. That is the yoga meditation capital of the world that I know I spoke about either in last video or 2 videos ago. So we're going to take a cab or a taxi or a bus or something tonight to go hang out there for a little bit. So I'm gonna do another trip with strangers and we'll see how this one goes. It's gonna be beautiful, and I'm gonna buy bands there. Oh, before I talk more about that, one thing we did in his hometown, we went to Yowen's hometown of Desuya, which is in like an hour and a half or so outside of Amritsar, which is where the Golden Temple is. So after we were done with the Golden Temple and the Amritsar massacre memorial, we went out to his hometown. So that's where we were for the next 2 days until we left. So I got to ride on the back of a scooter and I got to ride on the back of a motorbike. So here is me and Varun on the back of the scooter. I tried to drive the scooter and surprisingly I was very bad at it, which I don't completely understand. And then this is me on the back of the motorbike with Yowen. And here is me. Okay. And then, so after we got back, me and Dexter had to take a tuk-tuk, which is just these carts it's their taxis. These carts that is smaller than a car, bigger than a bike. I don't know, but here's a picture of me and Dexter on the way back after we had gotten back into New Delhi and we were on our way back to the hostel. So few photos that I wanted to include in this video because, I don't know, just here's some experience. I know I haven't been taking photos lately because of my own reasons. I do explain that in the blog, but I really did want to document some of these because I want to remember this trip, you know? So I took these photos more for my benefit. Back to my travel. Okay, so after I do Rishikesh with the German, the Argentinian, and Isan, I don't know. Well, actually I do. I want to go down to Sri Lanka, do some diving down there for a couple of weeks. After that, maybe go to Africa. Isan might be going to Africa for some work. So he invited me along if I want to go along. So maybe pop over to Africa for a little bit. And then, yeah, I have no idea. So that's the plan. Nothing really set in stone, but it's just, I don't know. I kind of just make it up as I go and like, hey, is this what I want to do or is this not what I want to do? Can I dive here? Can I go here? Where are other people going? Can I join in with them? Because I do a lot better when I'm with somebody, my anxiety is not as high and not as intense. It's definitely not as intense because I have another person I can share this experience with. And even if we have no idea what's going on, at least we have no idea what's going on together, and that makes me feel better. So being able to venture out and kind of hook up with these other people in order to continue traveling and experiencing new things, I absolutely love it, and I feel better about it. So there's that. I feel like this video's not as good as I wanted it to be, but I just feel like, anyways, I'm gonna post it. So hope you enjoyed it. And until next video, have a good one.